Hello and welcome to today's lesson on geometry. The question is, how can we find the long diagonal on the inside of a rectangular box? Let me explain. We have here a box that is 12 centimeters across, 8 centimeters up and down, and 5 centimeters deep. And what we want to do is find the length from the top back left corner to the bottom front right corner. So it's the diagonal that goes all the way across the inside middle of this box. Now we can do all this simply by using the Pythagorean theorem to find the lengths of sides of a triangle. So what we need to do then is find a way to make this long line part of a triangle, which we don't have now, because this back corner doesn't share any sides with any of the dimensions that we have listed here. So the first thing we need to do is find a way to connect this line with two other lines to create a triangle. Now we can do that if you imagine that the back corner, the back side here, shares a line that comes across here. So to demonstrate that, we can look here and see that with this back side and this front side, this would be the left face of the box, we can use this line to create this triangle, which would go up and down through the middle of the box. So the key now, we need to find x, but before we do that, we need to be able to find y. Now to find y, we can simply use a Pythagorean theorem and use this 12 that we have for this line and this 5 centimeter line here. Keep in mind all these lines are color coded with their length. So this 5 centimeters deep is the bottom leg of the triangle, and this 12 centimeters across is the second leg of the triangle. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and that'll give us y. The math is over here. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared is a Pythagorean theorem. So we use that, fill in for our lengths, find a squared plus b squared equals y squared, and we find that the length of y is 13 centimeters. So if we then recreate the box with this new value, we can then see that x now becomes the hypotenuse of the right triangle that's formed by this back left side and the hypotenuse we just found from the bottom across the middle. If you looked at this from the top, you would see that x and y line up directly on top of each other, which again gives us this triangle space right here in the middle. So then to find x from here, we simply reuse the Pythagorean theorem as seen down here. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we then substitute the values and we get 8, which is the height, plus 13 squared, which is the new hypotenuse we just found. We find that the unknown value here is a root of 233, which can't be simplified. It's 15 and some change. So if we look at our box once more, again we see that through the middle we have the back left 8 centimeter side. Then the bottom line that comes all the way across the middle of the box, that's 13 centimeters. And then the long diagonal from the inside is the square root of 233, 15, and a little bit more centimeters. So that's how we can find the inside long diagonal of a three-dimensional space using only the Pythagorean theorem. If you have any questions, please feel free to post them below this video in the space designated, and I will get back to them as soon as possible. Hope this helps explain everything. Have a great week. See you next week.